Let's bounce into the night with Benny and the Lantern Trail to Cloud Carnival, where every hop leads to moonlit magic in the sky. Have you ever chased a bouncing light into the sky? Benny's ears perked at the sight. A trail of glowing paper lanterns bobbing and swaying in the twilight. Each one bounced higher than the last, and Benny, being Benny, just had to follow. Hop, hop, hop! He bounced after them, through the meadows, over a silver brook, and up a hill so tall the clouds brushed its top. Then, whoosh! A gust of starlit wind lifted him right off the ground. The lanterns danced ahead, guiding him across fluffy cloud bridges and through puffball arches until, oh wow! There it was, the Cloud Carnival! Moon parade floats drifted past, covered in glittering stardust. Starlight swings spun slow and dreamy in the breeze, and cotton candy comets swirled pink sugar trails through the air. "Step right up," called a cloud chef, tossing Benny a sprinkle-covered marshmallow on a stick. Benny giggled, sticky whiskers and all. He hopped onto the comet carousel, zoomed through the rainbow ring toss, and tried the giggle springs, bouncing so high he could see the Milky Way winking back at him. But when the lanterns began floating away again, Benny knew it was time. He waved goodbye to the carnival, hopped into the starlit breeze, and let the lanterns guide him home. Back in the meadow, the last lantern winked out, leaving only the soft glow of Benny's happy heart. Some hops, he decided, were worth chasing all the way to the clouds. If you're smiling wide, like, share, subscribe for more joy inside. Chase the glow into the clouds with Zoe and the Starlantern Parade, where moonlit music and starlit surprises dance through the sky. Want to know where paper lanterns go when they leave the sky? Zoe was in her berry patch when the breeze turned warm and sweet, carrying a swirl of glowing paper lanterns between the trees. They'd bobbed and dipped, weaving a shimmering path through the forest. Her curls bounced as she chased them barefoot, skipping over moss and moonlit roots. The lanterns twirled around a crystal-clear brook, then floated higher, higher, until Zoe found herself climbing a ladder of starlight woven between the clouds. At the top, oh wow! A starlit festival stretched across the sky. Lantern arches shimmered above a moonlight dance floor. Floating stalls sold cloudberry tarts and fizzy star soda. Musicians strummed silver-stringed harps while comets spun lazy circles overhead. Zoe twirled between stalls, tasted stardust sugar, and hopped onto a swing made of moonbeam threads. She laughed as it soared over a glowing sea of lanterns drifting toward the horizon. Then she spotted it, a grand Starlantern Parade winding through the clouds. Each lantern held a tiny constellation, twinkling just for her. The parade master, a fox in a jacket of midnight blue, tipped his hat. "Care to join?" he grinned. Zoe skipped into the line, carrying a lantern shaped like a little heart. As they marched, the constellations inside began to glow brighter, painting the clouds with stories in the stars. When the last lantern floated away, the festival faded into the night. Zoe climbed down the starlit ladder, her heart still glowing like the lantern she'd carried. She knew the forest would feel different now, like it was holding a secret sky. just waiting for her next adventure. If you're smiling wide, like, share, subscribe for more joy inside. Follow the twinkle trail to Milo and the Lanterns to Laughter Clouds, where tiny adventurers find sky parties bursting with giggles and moonlit treats. Ever wondered where laughter goes when it drifts into the night sky? Milo, the pocket mouse, sat on his windowsill, nibbling sunflower seeds when he saw them, tiny paper lanterns, glowing like warm fireflies floating past his garden. Each one twinkled, as if holding a giggle inside. His whiskers twitched with curiosity. Without a second thought, he bounced after them, paws pattering softly on the moonlit grass. The lanterns led him up a hill, past a sleepy oak, and then, whoosh, they rose into the clouds. Milo spotted a shimmering rope ladder dangling from the sky. With a deep breath and a quick tail flick, he climbed higher and higher, until he stepped into the fluffiest cloud he'd ever seen. And there it was, the Laughter Clouds Festival. Lanterns hung between tufts of cloud like tiny suns. Mice-sized tables were stacked with steaming mooncakes, honeydew tea, and bowls of stardust popcorn. Music floated on the breeze, played by crickets strumming silver-stringed banjos. But something felt quiet. Milo twitched his ears. "Why aren't they laughing?" he whispered. A gentle cloud fox padded over, her tail shimmering like frost. "The giggle games haven't started," she explained. "The laughter key is missing. Without it, the games stay locked and the joy fades." Milo's heart raced. "Where did it go?" "The wind carried it away," the fox sighed. "No one dares chase it. It's hidden in the whistling cloud caverns." Milo's paws tingled with bravery. "I'll go." The caverns were dim and echoey, gusts of wind singing high twisty notes. Milo hopped from puff to puff, following the faint chime of the key. A sudden gust, whoosh, nearly toppled him. He crouched low, remembering his grandmother's words, "When the wind pushes, don't fight, flow with it." He leaned into the breeze, letting it guide him. Sure enough, it swept him right to a tiny hook of cloud where the golden laughter key dangled. With a swift leap, he grabbed it, holding it tight against his chest. Back at the festival, Milo slid the key into a moon-shaped lock. Instantly, the clouds shimmered, music swelled, and the giggle games began. Tiny sack races, star toss contests, and moonbeam limbo filled the skies. Laughter bubbled and echoed, brighter than any lantern. When it was time to go, the Cloud Fox whispered, "You brought back more than the key. You reminded us that sometimes courage is just taking one small step towards the unknown." Milo climbed down the ladder, his whiskers still tingling with joy. That night, as he curled into his nest, the sound of laughter followed him all the way into his dreams. If you're smiling wide, like, share, subscribe for more joy inside. Step into the glow of night with Anch and the Lantern Trail to the Sky Festival, where dreamers discover starlight games and moonlit magic. Have you ever seen a compass glow like a star? Anch, the Wonder Scout, sat on his porch with his trusty compass. When a cluster of paper lanterns drifted across the night sky, as the lanterns twirled and danced, his compass needle spun wildly, glowing brighter than ever before. His heart skipped. This wasn't ordinary. It was an invitation. He tightened his boots, slung his satchel across his shoulder, and followed the drifting lights. The lanterns bobbed gently, leading him past whispering trees and over a hilltop where the sky looked close enough to touch. Suddenly, a silvery ladder made of mist unrolled before him. Anch took a deep breath and climbed higher, higher, until the ground was only a memory and the clouds opened into a glowing festival. The Sky Festival was alive with magic. Lanterns floated like stars caught in a dance. Moon music swirled through the air, played on shimmering harps strung with starlight. Stalls offered bowls of comet candy and fizzy rainbow tea. Children chased sparkling firefly kites, and their laughter bubbling like fountains. But then a hush rippled through the crowd. A starlit stage stood empty, its great crystal doors sealed tight. "The games can't begin," murmured a sky sprite, "because the dream bell is missing. Without it, the festival fades." Anch's compass flickered again, its glow pointing toward a swirl of dark clouds. He squared his shoulders. "I'll find it." The trail led him into the whirling sky caves, where winds howled and echoes twisted into strange shapes. At first, Anch felt small. The winds tugged at his jacket, trying to spin him around, but he remembered his father's words. A true scout doesn't just follow the trail. He listens to it. Closing his eyes, he held his compass steady. The needle hummed softly, guiding him through the storm. At last, nestled in a hollow of soft cloud, he found the dream bell, glowing faintly, wrapped in silver mist. With careful hands he lifted it free and hurried back. The moment the bell touched the stage, it rang out with a pure, joyful chime. The crystal doors burst open, and the Sky Festival blazed with life. Moonbeam races, constellation puzzles, and laughter so bright it made even the clouds sparkle. The Sky Sprite bowed. "You've shown us that courage is not about size or strength, but about following the light within." As Anch climbed back down to earth, his compass still glowed softly. That night he fell asleep knowing the stars sometimes open their secrets to dreamers brave enough to follow. If you're smiling wide, like, share, subscribe for more joy inside. Climb the glowing steps of wonder with Mia and the Lantern Stairway to the clouds, where every lantern leads to a sky full of secrets. Have you ever seen a stairway made of light? Mia, the whirlwind dreamer, pressed her nose against the window. Glowing paper lanterns drifted past, like tiny golden moons, bobbing and twirling, forming a trail that seemed to whisper, "Follow us!" Her heart leapt. Adventure was calling. She slipped on her shoes, tied her hair in a quick knot, and dashed outside. The lanterns floated higher, weaving together into a glowing stairway that rose straight into the sky. Mia's eyes widened. "A stairway to the clouds!" she gasped. Without hesitation, she stepped onto the first lantern. It held her weight, warm and steady. Up she climbed, one lantern, 2, 10, 20, until the world below looked like a sleepy patchwork quilt. At the top, a dazzling festival unfolded. The clouds shimmered like silver pillows, decorated with ribbons of moonlight. A grand parade floated by, whale-shaped balloons glowing with starlight, dancers twirling in gowns of mist, and trumpets playing constellations into the air. Mia clapped her hands in delight. But then The music faltered. The star orchestra stood frozen, their instruments dim. "The song of the sky cannot begin," explained a lantern sprite, "because the star baton is missing. Without it, the clouds grow heavy and the celebration fades." Mia's adventurous eyes sparked. Where was it last seen? "The windy hollow," whispered the sprite, pointing to a swirl of stormy clouds. Mia braced herself and hurried into the hollow. The winds, whoosh, swirled around her, tugging at her clothes and hair. For a moment she felt small. But she remembered her mother's words, "When storms blow wild, stay steady inside, and you'll find your way." Mia steadied her breath, letting her courage guide her steps. The moment she placed the baton in the conductor's hand, the orchestra lit up. Harps strummed moonlight. Drums rolled like thunder softened with laughter. Flutes painted the air with sparkles. The song of the sky swelled, filling every cloud with joy. The lantern sprite smiled. "You've shown us that even in swirling storms, courage and calm can bring back the light." Mia descended the lantern stairway, her heart glowing brighter than any lantern. That night she drifted into dreams where the clouds still sang and the stars clapped just for her. If you're smiling wide, like, share, subscribe for more joy inside. Waddle into warmth and wonder with Pickle and the Lanterns of Cozy Skies, where glowing trails lead to the coziest surprises in the clouds. Have you ever seen stars that felt warm instead of cold? Pickle the penguin tugged his snowflake scarf tighter as he gazed at the night sky. Paper lanterns, soft and glowing, floated above him, brighter than any icicle. They drifted slowly as if waiting. Pickle's little heart fluttered. "Are you leading me somewhere?" he asked. With a happy waddle he followed. The lanterns guided him past frosted pines and snowy hills until they gathered into a glowing staircase that shimmered straight into the sky. Pickle tilted his head, eyes wide. A stairway made of light? Oh, cozy wonder! He placed one flipper on a lantern step. It held him steady, warm as fresh cocoa. Up, up he climbed, scarf flapping behind. At the top, he gasped, a cloud-top festival stretched wide. Lanterns twinkled like hearth fires, stalls offered steaming cocoa, and music rang like snowflakes chiming on glass bells. Children with rosy cheeks twirled in misty dances, and blankets of starlight kept everyone snug. Pickle waddled deeper, but the music suddenly hushed. A lantern-bearer explained, "The frosty flute is missing. Without it, the warmth fades, and the cozy skies turn cold." Pickle's eyes sparkled with determination. "I'll find it!" He followed faint notes into a drifting puff of storm clouds. The wind blew sharp, tugging hard at his scarf. For a moment Pickle shivered, but then he remembered. Coziness comes from the heart, not just the scarf around your neck. Breathing steady, he pressed on. At last, tucked inside a curl of cloud, gleamed the frosty flute, glowing with frosted silver. Pickle scooped it carefully into his flippers and waddled back. The moment the flute touched the lantern-bearer's lips, the festival awoke again. Music danced through the sky. Soft, frosty, yet warm as a hug. Lanterns glowed brighter, cocoa steamed richer, and laughter bubbled like hot chocolate foam. The lantern-bearer bowed. "You reminded us that even the smallest steps of courage can bring back warmth." Pickle waddled down the glowing stairway, scarf fluttering, heart as bright as the lanterns. That night, snuggled in his snowy burrow, the cozy music of the clouds hummed him into the happiest sleep. If you're smiling wide, like, share, subscribe for more joy inside.